Hi guys, we're back on That Spiritual Podcast. Today, Marty and I are bringing a very popular topic to the table.
Yes, meditation.
Yeah.
And I quite like meditation, and Phoebe's just saying how she doesn't really like she likes the idea of it. She likes
the
listening
idea.
it, but actually struggles with quietening the mind, which is pretty much kind of what we want to talk on.
Yeah.
Why meditation is important, how you actually do it, what you could do if you struggle to start it. So I actually run meditation evenings, or have been, because I think it's such an important tool. I think when I first meet people, when I first bring people into my world, the two things that I am absolutely adamant that they really must start is practicing gratitude, which we'll cover at a later stage, I'm sure, and why it's good, and meditation.
Yeah.
And without exception, everybody goes, "Oh, I'm rubbish at that."
Yeah.
And you just said it, I can't quiet my mind, and it's a real problem. And I'm like, well, if you quiet your mind, you're dead. That's bad. That's not where we're heading. Your mind is designed to work. Really like that. Otherwise, not working is not ideal. It's brain dead. I've met a few people like that, but that's not the work we're going for.
It's not what we're looking for.
So when you meditate, really and truly, what you should be looking to do, if you don't have a clue where to start with a guided meditation. There's loads of them free on YouTube. Yeah, love YouTube. I like there's a couple of guys, I assume it's two, they're called the Honest Guys, really like their sleep meditations. And that would be a place that I start. But you don't need to sit zenning out. You could do a walking meditation where you just concentrate on the sound of your footsteps and let your mind wander and see what pops up for you. You can do guided meditations where you follow the sound of somebody's voice or the instructions, and they take you through the woods and all the nice places, right? Phoebe, you did meditations for like the witch wound.
So I love channeling meditations. That's my bag. Can I do them? Absolutely not. I will go to my guides before a women's circle, before a retreat, before a piece of work I'm doing with somebody, like whatever it might be, and I'll be like, right, I need a meditation, this is the vibe, tell me it. And I will get my pen and I will write as quick as I bloody can, like literally doesn't even make sense on the pen. It comes in so fast. And after maybe a minute, I've got the perfect meditation, look at it, think, okay, we'll see how that goes, do it. And it's great. Everyone that sits it enjoys it. They have various experiences, etc. But for me, I love doing that. I don't love sitting and try, like you just said, I could walk in the woods. I could do. Did I ever really think of that? No, because I'm like, well, what if I do this? Or what if my mind does this? Like, it's almost like I procrastinate about what could happen during the meditation. So then I've already floored the whole thing.
I think I've lost track of the amount of people who say to me, I can't meditate. Like there's some special snowflake, and newsflash, nobody is. Everybody can meditate. It's just not everybody can quiet their mind. But then we're not trying to be Zen Buddhists. Right? We're looking, if you think about, did I turn the washing on? If I put that on the Tesco shopping list?
Letting it pass.
That's fine. Just let it come, let it go. And sadly, that does mean you're not going to remember what's supposed to be on your shopping list. That's just going to... But, I've heard it described as see it as a cloud that simply passes by your mind. But I was rubbish at quietening my mind. I'm quite hyperactive anyway. We could call it dynamic. That sounds nicer. I'm quite dynamic, people. But my ADHD brain does not like switching off, does not like slowing down. It likes 100 miles an hour. But I can walk and meditate just by focusing on my footsteps. I can breathe and meditate by focusing on how the breath feels in my body, where the aches and pains occur in my body, and breathing into those spaces and releasing it. There's breathing techniques that actually include meditation, like box breathing. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4. Even if you just did that, that's still meditating.
It's mad, isn't it? I think what the narrative around meditation is that sitting in stillness on a beach, there's one bird in the sky, everything's silent, and your brain is and that when you put meditation in those ways, I think just for me and many people listening, it makes you realize there aren't actually rules to meditation. Like, it's the intention, isn't it?
I think that's the thing. We think, we presuppose, and I often say this, we bring a human thought process to a spiritual experience. And what I mean by that is we start to get our head in the way. I'm only meditating if I'm sitting quietly, there's then background music, I've got no disturbances, no thought other than pure ones crosses my mind. I mean, we're instantaneously screwed, right? But that's not going to happen. That's being a Buddhist monk, and unless you're signing up for that, in which case, you know, namaste and all that, we're not going to get that. That's not going to be our meditation experience. But it doesn't mean that you're not doing it right. It means that you are as unique as a blueprint, as a soul, as a human, and we are trying to make that spiritual experience of just getting quiet and letting flow what needs to flow. I mean, you often find if you stop long enough, you get sad. Have you ever found that?
Yes.
Right. So you stop and, you know, you're either scrolling or you're just listening to music and you've sat down. Suddenly you get this overwhelming sadness come over you. That doesn't mean you're suddenly super sad, although you might be. That means there's stuff within your physical body or your soul body that's not processed, that's not awake, that's not alert. And meditation is the way to connect with that. And bring it, you know, oftentimes like shadow work and stuff like that. It's not that we're going into the dark or we're taking you to the dark side. It's like, right, when we see that stuff and we let it percolate a little bit, like to be able to visually see it, then we then bring it up to the surface, to the light, to the love, to the grace, whatever way you want to speak to it. That's what meditation is for me. It's about being able to facilitate the processing of emotions, the calming of the mind. And it doesn't mean that suddenly we're all zen and we've got our life sewn up. I wish. But it does mean that we're more in tune with our intuition, we're more in tune with our inner world and what's going on within us, even if that's blocks. Actually, I love finding a block.
Same.
I'm like, right, work to do.
New level.
Level up.
Here we go. Settle up, bitches.
And then the meditation alerts you to the piece of work, which I then go off and do normally in another way. So that for me is kind of meditation, and I feel like it's been missold to us.
That I feel is probably my block around it. It's the creating a narrative of how it will look when I haven't even allowed myself to remove that narrative in the first place, which is, you know,
taking 3 deep breaths to gather your shit or not lose your shit. You know, how many times have our kids said something super dumb or a partner or a friend, and we're like, oh, I don't need to tell them what I'm really thinking in this moment. That's not going to help this situation. And you take a really nice deep breath and you're like, right, center yourself. But you don't think like that. You don't go, right, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to find my spiritual center, I'm going to breathe into my diaphragm, I'm going to inhale the joy, exhale the bullshit. You know, you don't do, but you are. That is what meditation is. Like, take a moment. We don't want to go from this place. We want to recenter, rebalance, and go from a more together, coherent place, because that serves our highest good much better than losing it all the way.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean we don't do that from time to time, but it means it's not our primary option. It wouldn't be where we'd hope to start.
No, I agree.
And I think meditation has been, I don't think we understand fully even now the real benefits to it, you know. Just to take it a bit sciencey, I won't go too hard because I got double E in science. I'm more interested in the spirituality of it than potion making, hilariously. But we have sort of all sorts of things going on in our head that I won't drill down to: amygdalas, parasympathetic nervous systems, blah de blah de blah. And just simple breath work is enough to interrupt patterns that put us into a calmer frame of mind. And I'll do it like that rather than drilling down into special words. If we do that, we are more balanced, more coherent. You can actually use just your breath to stop, and I have stopped panic attacks and anxiety attacks. Sometimes they're harder to stop than other times, and I'm not dismissing anybody's symptoms, but I had them. You know, I used to have them and suffer them. I still get them occasionally when I'm out of my depth. But now I can stop them in their tracks just with pure meditation, which is based on breath work. But I prefer a walking meditation. I'd rather take myself off to the woods, even if it's just 10-15 minutes walk. The act of walking grounds you, so it makes you feel more connected to your environment, your world, your place in the world. And then just if you listen to the sound of your footsteps, that's a meditation.
Yeah, I love that. And you do meditations, don't you, with your circle, like your
so yeah, I do a
space.
full and new moon meditation. So every new moon, you know, we should manifest, we should be bringing in, and every full moon we should be releasing. That doesn't mean you can't do the other one. Do what feels right to you, but that's my ethos and the traditional way, right? But I'm like, meditation is a really good way to stop long enough just to hear what you're ignoring. It's a good way to trick your mind into seeing things that it doesn't naturally see. I do a lot of goddess meditations as well myself. So I bring goddess work into my meditation because they each have a skill set that I can then bring to my practice. Like, you know, the able or ability to step up and step into my journey.
It's fascinating. I do think that there's a huge benefit to bringing meditation into your life if you are spiritually exploring that side of yourself, because it helps to just keep you tapped in a way, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And if nothing else, and if you're not using it for like growth and spiritual evolution and whatever, it allows you to tap into your own intuition.
And survive life, actually.
And, you know, just being in touch with yourself and where you are in this moment in time and this place in time is powerful enough. And I think it's massively undervalued. So that would be my suggestion to you, is to go and find something that speaks to you. Do you fancy a walk in the woods? We live in England. It keeps raining at the moment. It's probably not the one.
I love a walk in the rain.
Do you? I like warm rain. Quite fickle.
Oh my God, I love it. I'm like, yes, it's raining.
No, we are not the same. I can tell you've got sun. But, you know, I would far rather, the other way I do it is light a candle and just stare at the flame. Effectively scrying, I guess.
Scrying.
But, you know, it's still meditation because I just breathe into it and allow myself to sit in that space and just see what comes up for me. I don't go in with an ulterior motive. When I'm holding meditations, I do. I'm like, I want you to see one thing you can release see one thing that you want to bring in. And one of the meditations I love doing is looking at yourself a year down the line. I love that one. You know, you wake up, what's your room look like, who's there, you know, go to your kitchen, is it the same kitchen? All of that is actually really helpful for us because we start to see possibilities and opportunities that perhaps we wouldn't if we were thinking in a linear way.
So interesting. I love that. She's a whole bucket of knowledge of meditation is on Marty.
No, I really like it because I was exactly like most of these people who are listening will be like, I can't do that. Because my mind's active and busy. And, you know, my mind will always be active and busy. And I will think of 200 things, the same as when I'm healing. You know, when I'm being a healing channel, I'm like, oh, did I turn that washing machine off? I'm like, anyway, meanwhile, back at this heart chakra right here. Come back in the room.
Focus. Oh, amazing. I think
that's all right. And I just, you know, let me validate you. If you do that, or you're meditating, you suddenly think of something, or somebody wound you up like bastards.
Like me. And I'm like, why did I think of that? Stop it, leave my head.
Just let it flow in and flow out and don't attach to it. And then behind that is the real work.
Amazing.
Cool. We'll love and leave you.
We'll love and leave you guys.
Let us know if there's any subjects you want us to touch on. We'd love to hear. Give us any feedback, good, bad. We can take it.
We love it.
And we will see you when we see you.
See you guys. Bye.